small businesses are feeling the brunt of the continued power cuts. At the moment, the country is in stage 4 load shedding, with stage 6 expected to kick in from 4 p.m. this afternoon. Our reporter, Tshegohaco Moagi, is in the area of Daveyton, that's here in Gauteng, where she's been speaking to residents and small business owners about the impact of these blackouts. Tshego, good morning to you once again. The impact of load shedding in the area where you are. You're going to tell us exactly whether it's a small business owner you're about to talk to. What are their frustrations about the Eskom load shedding?
Well, good morning once again, Xoli. Indeed, you know, the area is quite an old area. Daveyton is quite an old area, formed in about 1950. One of the areas that, when it was actually formed, had electricity, had water, and everything was running smoothly. But now the residents here are finding themselves also stuck within load shedding. And as we speak, you know, the electricity went off about an hour ago in this very area. The small business that we're going to speak to, I'm with Njabula this morning. We're just going to walk into the small business. It's called Uncle's Hair Salon here in Daveyton. It's one of the smaller businesses here, you know, that are really struggling, Xoli, with the situation of load shedding. You can see he's got a small solar panel at the top there. But of course, you can understand that it is small and it won't give him much electricity or much supply from what he's actually hoping for. But let's speak to the owner of the small business. Philemon, thank you so much for your time. So, what is the situation? You know, load shedding?
Oh, yangihluphe lokushedini lento yenza ukuthi ngihluphe ngokuthi vele nje isikhathini esiningi vele ihlale ihamba legesi kulamalanga yasitsogolisa kakhulu, hayi kancane kakhulu. And bayahambela thathe sine 3 days yonke singanagesi la, 3 days yonke sinagesi. So hey, yasibhayisa kakhulu ukuthi sizama nalawo masola lawo amancane kodwa awanamandla. Still ngikunda umuntu we1 iyacima lento.
So wena usebenza kanjani ke?
Kuncenga nje ikhonto ngizoyenza. Kuncenga ukuthi ngapha ngibhadala nerent la ngikhona la ngisebenzela khona. La ngihlala khona ngibhadala irent ngibhadala kanzima ngokuthi nje yabona ukuthi ngisebenza ngakhona. Akusebenzeki futhi.
So une solar, sitshele futhi ukuthi unani la ukuthi ukusize nje ukuthi uzame nje ukugunda inywele.
Into ningangisiza ngayo. Oh, ngiyoke nginesola ngathi ngingangisiza ngani, so ngiyabona into engingakhona ukuthi ngincede ukuthi izoba ina power ukuthi ngikwazi ukugunda abantu.
All right, so explain ukuthi yini le and ikusiza kanjani?
Oh, le isola loku battery lokuncane esola, mara ngihlanganisa naloku inverter lokhu ngiyaconnecta la ngikwazi ukuthi ncenga mara kodwa kuncengi ngoba akuna power vele, so kuyangihlupha.
So bositshela ukuthi even if you are connected, you can only cut one person's hair.
Yeah, mangiconnectile ngiyagunda umuntu oyi1, wesi2 kanti uqala ukugunda wesibili iyacima futhi uyaphela lo mlilo.
And then obviously awutholi i-customer makune load shedding.
Makune load shedding angitholi customer vele lapho. Na customer ukuthi ugunda kanje unganagesi indawo lapho.
All right, ngiyabonga kakhulu Philemon there, really just giving us details, Xoli, around the struggles that he faces. Let's bring in a neighbor, a man that we've been having conversations with around the situation of load shedding here. So thank you so much for your time. So let's start with, you know, the situation of load shedding. How is it affecting the community of Daveyton, an old community, as you told us, one of the communities that had electricity when it was formed?
It really affects us. We do understand that, you know, load shedding is not only here, it's throughout the country. That is understood. The only biggest problem we are having at the moment is this load reduction. People like Philemon, you know, they survive on this. Philemon has got about 6 kids that he's got to support. He's got this place that he's renting to pay rent for. But when this load reduction is put into effect, sometimes it goes out for more than 6 hours a day, including the load shedding. Often, when the load shedding, they give us back the lights, then the reduction takes over. It's only from 1, 2, 3, the third house from here. It affects the whole of this area, but you know, our neighbors, the opposite side, do have electricity. Now, it's frustrating And I won't say I'm angry because I do understand some of what is happening now. But really, it's affecting us a lot. They put us into a position, right, as I'm speaking to you right now, my pensioner. For me to cook, I've got to use the gas stove. I don't even have that money to buy gas so that we can cook and stuff like that. It's really, really frustrating us.
Now, what do you think then needs to happen when it comes to the situation with Eskom, just so that people can have light and people can live, in a safer space? I can imagine also the crime situation in the area when it's dark in the evenings.
What needs to happen is, if there is load shedding, let there be load shedding, not load reduction. Because at least load shedding is somewhat reliable. If they take it for 2 hours, you know that after 2 hours, you will get electricity. Then life will continue. With this stage 6 load shedding, we don't know for how many hours it goes. It can go 2 hours now, 2 hours later, 2 hours at night. But at least we know that at least after 2 hours, we'll have electricity. But with this reduction that affects us a lot, they don't even inform us or give us the schedule that load reduction will be in effect from this time up until that time. It's like they don't even care. Okay, previously, we enjoyed it. We enjoyed, having lights and stuff like that. We understand the situation of today about this electricity. But we don't want to point fingers. What I'm trying to say is, if there is load shedding, let there be load shedding. No load reduction, because apparently load reduction is only, in my mind, in my understanding, is only designed for the townships. The very people that, put this government into power are the people that suffer most.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your time this morning. Well, there you have it, Xoli. So, just some conversations with the people that actually, live and work here, just giving us details about how this has affected them, load shedding. That load reduction that we heard about there, it goes for about 5 hours at a time. And so that's why it's deemed to be, not as reliable as what load shedding would be, because there is a schedule often for load shedding. But you heard there from Philemon that this is his business. He needs to support his family. He needs to pay rent here. He needs to pay rent where he lives as well. So when there aren't any customers, or when there's load shedding, there aren't any customers, he's got a solar system and a UPS system that, assists, but it's small. So with that, he's only able to cut one customer's hair, and that's about it. That's as far as he can go until the electricity actually comes back. So the effects are quite dire for the residents of Ekurhuleni that we have spoken to here in Daveyton. Xoli?
Oh, it's a tough situation. Thank you very much. That's our reporter, Tshegohaco Moagi in Daveyton there for us.